lines in play. I'm going to go ahead and group all of them. I'm going to hold down the Shift key here and select them all. Just those, and again, object group, and name those lines. And I'm going to be adding dimensions, but before I do that, I need to actually make some space for my design. So I'm going to go ahead and use the artboard tool and just expand my artboard. A little bit more information there, so I'll just leave that like that, and that should be sufficient. And I'll zoom up here into this area here. Now, we need to know, again, what the width and height of these different elements are as we break them down. Some of this information we already know, and some of the information is actually available to us quite if we had forgotten. So we can open up our lines here, and we can see that under header, we select the logo. In the transform panel, it will tell us the width and the height, 700 pixels by 95 pixels. So we can simply and easily, I'm going to go ahead and reset that. I'll just make sure I'm on the red lines layout. Go and get my text tool. I'll open up the character panel here and pick out a little bit. That's all good. 14 is really where I want to go there. And I'm going to go ahead and click above all that, and I can just type in 700px and do another thing. I'm going to set the color for that red and actually make the size of that a lot bigger so I can actually see it. So there's a 700 pixels. I also know that the side here is 95 pixels, so I can duplicate my 700 pixels there and move that over and zoom in there to make sure I can actually get to that. Get my zoom tool here, my text tool, and change that to 95. However, this is a vertical, so I need to rotate that. Let's go to transfer, rotate, and a little preview in there, and I'll type in 45. We need a negative 90, and click OK. So there's our vertical. All right. Now we're going to continue on down the design here, taking notes as to what it is we have. I'll collapse all that. We can use our transform panel here, minimize it a little bit, to again go to our banner. The only difference between that, well, is it's 100 pixels, so we can use the 95 here, and just if you want to lock those in place, just so that they're in there. Move our 95 and move that down, and just simply change that to 100. Okay, and then now we need to know what the space between this and this is, and there is a couple quick ways to do that. One is simply to draw a rectangle and see how big it is. So I'm just going to get my rectangle tool. I'm going to make sure, well, as it doesn't matter, the fill and just draw, and note that it says 52. Now, I'd really like it to be 50. That's the number I really want in there, so I can do that. I'm just going to throw away that rectangle. Just remember that that said 50, so I'll just grab that 100 there. Lock the original 100, grab that 100 and move that down there, and then simply change that number to 50. And I'll keep going down here. When I get down to here, of course, the same thing. I can measure the distance between here and here. And that says 32. As again, I would prefer it to be 30, so I'll just make it 30. So I'll just go and get that. Move that down to 30, down to here. That there. I will also need to indicate the distance between there and there. I actually know what that is. That was 310 there, so we'll just change that to 310. And if we really needed to make sure that what that was, of course, we can go to item 1. We can go right to graphic, and sure enough, it says 310. All right, so you now continue down. Now again, make sure you're paying it. Okay, right here, there's a little divot. There's also a little divot over here. So you need to indicate again what that divot is. Now I'm going to go ahead and measure between here and here, and that says 10 pixels, and that's a good number. So I can do one of three things. I can go and zoom out a little bit, and then I'll just move in this area right here. Got my rectangles here. I'm going to go ahead and throw those away. And I'll just grab this 700 here. Select it. Grab it down and then move it down here. And just change that 7 to a 10. Put that in there right there. And of course, then just duplicate that 10 there and move that over to here. Then continue on the measurements between each one of the elements here, all the way down, and then, of course, all the way through, and continue down to the footer, including into the oblivion. All right.